Welcome back for episode 6 of 18 Foot-Pound Garage.
You wish that you could be like me.
Eviction time. I sawed this boat in half. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me. Not really anything in there. Cut the entire front end of the car off.
Oh my.
This car will be up for sale. The T5 and the Cougar is really kind of smooth.
Oh.
And the engine fire extinguisher.
You can help start YouTubers.
Do everything at 18 foot-pounds.
Today we're going to be working on this 1988 Volkswagen Cabriolet. So the original plans for episode 6 is we're going to continue working on the Cougar. But you may have seen the clip where it backfired and blew the hat apart. So I also have other things I need to do. I need to get the AC in the Cadillac working. You may have seen the Cadillac in shorts or a small clip where I took the battery out of it back in the last episode. So the next episode is probably going to be fixing the AC on the Cadillac. But I need to get this running here so that I can drive it while I'm fixing that. Now, full disclosure, this actually is not my car. This belongs to my stepdad. The last time that this thing was running was when I drove it about 2 years ago. But he says that it should just fire up once we hook the battery up. See about that. So, let's talk to Disclosures Act, and then we'll dive on in.
Hello there. Are you tired, depressed, lonely, just sick of the nonsense of day-to-day life? You wish that you could be like me? Well, now you can with 18 foot-pounds. That's right, 18 foot-pounds. 18 foot-pounds will solve all your troubles, erase all your woes, end world hunger, and put billions in your bank account. But wait, there's more. Subscribe right now, and you will receive eternal life. That's right, you will never die. Go ahead and subscribe now, and watch all your problems vanish in the blink of an eye.
18 Foot-Pound Garage is not liable for any death, injury, self-harm, loss of marriage. I don't care if you do what you do in this video. 18 foot-pounds does not actually do anything that it says it will do in this advert.
Well, it looks like we got some wasps up in here. Looks like we're going to have to evict them real quick. Oh, see them up in there? They ain't going to be happy. Alright, now normally I would use WD-40 to get rid of these wasps. But Flex Seal! I sawed this boat in half! No, sorry. PB Blaster will work just the same. Alright everybody, eviction time. Doesn't seem like PB Blaster works quite as good as WD-40. Because they're not able to fly, but they're not dead. They would be dead by now with WD-40. Alright, so now that we've pretty much taken care of the wasps, let's go ahead and talk about this engine. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about this engine, other than it's a 4-cylinder engine. What is it, like 1.6 liters, 1.8 liters, something like that. It's got an overhead cam. And this does have something interesting. This uses it's kind of like a diesel in the way that it uses like a distribution system. Now this here is not a pump. However, it is a distribution block of some sort. It is a mechanical fuel injection system. Basically, there's a flap inside this airbox here that when it opens as the airflow changes, and that sends that mechanically operates this injection system here and controls how much fuel is delivered into the system. And it appears to be a More, well, no, it's not a direct injection. The injectors still sit on top of the valves, it looks like. So let's go ahead and hook this battery up. See any sparks. Probably alright. Alright, let's go ahead and see if this thing starts. We might have to take this. Oh, well, that's probably part of the problem. It wasn't even connected down. Hold on for a second here. Now y'all see this is the flap here I was talking about that controls the flow. Seems a little bit stuck. I don't know. See, I'm not real familiar with these. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to open a lot more than that. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm pushing it with my hand versus regular airflow trying to do it. Let's go ahead and just put this back and then seal that up, see if that will take care of our problem. Hold on, looks like I'm going to have to get a screwdriver. Come on, go over it. It might have been the way that screen was sitting in there. Now this isn't my car, so I am not going to hit this with a hammer, just so y'all know. Yeah, might see some of that PB blaster on there. This plastic is old and hard, so that might have something to do with it. Hopefully that blaster will help. Let's not forget to hook that back up. Okay, that's not an open vacuum line. Might as well check the oil while we're here. Looks kind of full. Don't smell any gas in it. Let's see if that does anything different. Well, that's the end of the video. See you next time.
I'll be your blonde tonight, if that's what you like. Stilettos and fish
I'm just kidding. It looks like we got some oil burning off here. Oh, don't die. Still got a few wasps flying around here. That belt seems like it's wobbling. Looks like the whole crank pulley there is a little bit off. Yeah, there's got to be some oil there on the exhaust that's burning off. That's probably that noise I'm hearing, that crank pulley. I don't know, that or maybe the timing belt rubbing against the cover. I'm going to choose not to worry about that right now. Put it in here. Looks like he's got some other seats in here. I know that this is not the original seat to the, I believe this is from like a 92 Honda Civic. He had to put that in there because he's so tall. Definitely a bit of mold up in here. It's been sitting, like I said, about 2 years. Now if you like content like this, or even if you're just a smoker like me, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me. Helps to build the channel. Now, back to the video. Alright, so it sounded like we were having a power steering problem here with this when I pulled out. I know this here is the reservoir for it. Yeah, that's bone dry. Well, not bone dry, but let me get y'all in here and y'all can check it out. Yeah, see, there's not really anything in there. We'll have to see if we got any ATF around here we can put in that. Wonder where it's leaking from though. Alright, so I couldn't find any power steering fluid. So I had just remembered that the rack actually has a bad leak to it, so that's where all the fluid went to. He was over here just a minute ago. I was talking to him. We moved the trailer from over there to over there. He said that we're probably going to have to take the airbox out of the car because there's a part or something here dropped down inside the airbox. And that's why he had stopped doing the airbox on it. So I guess I should take the time now to talk about the history of this car. So this car originally he had bought years and years ago for his stepdaughter at the time. This was obviously long before he met my mom. Because when we met him, he had this car. This is what he was daily driving at the time. But she didn't want it because she didn't like the headlights. Which, these are not the original headlights on the car. The original headlights, it had like a dual setup here. So, the reason why this has a different front end on it is because one day we were going somewhere and traffic just came to a dead stop, and we ran back of the car and crumpled the whole front end. So we had to find a donor car, and we basically just cut the entire front end of the car off and then cut the front end off the other car and re-welded everything back together. And so this is the front here from that car. But this is the original bumper here. So since I can't find any power steering fluid around here right now, we'll have to worry about that another time. But so we're going to go ahead. Next step, just get this thing washed up. Alrighty, and there it is. It's not perfect. I missed a few spots on it. Well, not that I missed them, it's just that it's so caked on there. I'll probably go around it again off camera. Ooh, see? Yeah, that's pretty bad there, I missed. But as you can see, this car has no rust on it whatsoever. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get the top down for you, show you what that looks like. Got one lap here, one lap here. Lift it on back. Now this top does need to be replaced, so I am going very easy with it. Have to let the material settle so we don't rip it or anything.
Oh my.
Alright, then let's get it in there right. There's two little latches in here and lock it in place. I think that's locked in place. Yeah, that's locked. Alright, so now it looks like this. There should be like a cover for this. I think you might need to try, I don't know where it is. But there was a cover for this. Probably does somewhere. Hi, Future Zach here. I just wanted to mention that this car will be up for sale after I'm done driving it. So if you would like to own this car, you can shoot me an offer at 18footpoundgarage@gmail.com. Now, enjoy the rest of the video. Now, as you can see, he has a bunch of seats and stuff in here. I'm not going to take those out. He said he was going to take care of that. If he doesn't, I'll ask him about it. But we're going to go ahead and look at the interior and clean that up. Alright, as you can see, we got some mold in here. Now, normally what I would use is distilled white vinegar and water solution. But I don't have a spray bottle to put that in right now. So we're going to see how these disinfectant wipes work. Doesn't look like they're doing too bad of a job. I just don't like that they're like coming apart here because the steering wheel's all worn out. Alright, so now let's go ahead and go on a small drive. Because like I said, you don't have any power steering fluid in this. Alright, well, the tripod kept falling over, so y'all didn't get to enjoy most of that ride, or at least half of it. So, we'll go ahead and pick back up on this another day. Alright, it's a brand new day. So, there's a couple of things I wanted to touch on that I didn't mention the other day. So, I was talking with my stepdad, and he told me that the reason why we were seeing so much smoke up from this area is for two reasons. One, the valve seals in this are completely shot, and two, there's broken off studs in the head for the exhaust manifold, so it leaks when it first starts up, but he says it seals once it warms up. We didn't really drive it long enough to see if that's the case. When I did come back, I did smell it. I never popped the hood, so maybe we just didn't drive it long enough. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that this is a manual car. This is a manual car over here too. Ugly Cat, the 87 Mercury Cougar. Now, the gear shift on this is not as good as on the Cougar. If you haven't seen my videos on that, we're currently putting the turbo in there. I highly encourage that you go ahead and check that out. I do have a whole playlist on that. But the T5 and the Cougar is really kind of smooth, and it has a really long shifter on it I put on there. This has a really short shifter, so I have to kind of like reach down. I don't really like that. But the gates on it are just kind of like, feels like they're messed up, which I don't remember from when I drove this 2 years ago. But it's really hard to shift, kind of like get it into the gate, so it's not really quick or smooth. Also, and this is entirely my fault, because that car there has shot synchros on second gear. I have to double clutch into second, and I automatically just do that on this car, even though I don't have to. Alright, well, he never took the seats out, so I guess we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Probably put these in the shed for the time being. Really figure out what he wants to do with them. That's an old seat cover there with a hole in it. So that's kind of wedged under the top. Might have to put that up for a minute. Here's the bottom for that other cover. The carpeting. Package inside. Clutch cable maybe. Old water bottle. Up forward. Necessary. Windshield cover, and an Angel fire extinguisher. So, this must be one I gave him. This is the company I used to work for, BFP. Service in 2019. Behind, but it's okay. No, wasn't. Last 6 years in 2014. 6 years is basically just when you take it apart and clean up the seals and recharge it. And then you have what's called a hydro, which is 6 years after that, where you pressure test the cylinder with water. You don't really have to worry about that for home use, but that's something that the businesses have to worry about. They have to abide by law. Found the Cabriolet sticker that goes on the back. Not sticker, badge. Alright, so here we are with all the junk out of the trunk. Not the trunk, but the back seat and everything. Alright, and not sure what that carpeting's for, but that's part of the Airbox there set up. And I didn't clarify when I said the Airbox earlier, because I interchanged the words Airbox for, you know, the filter housing for the air filter, and Airbox for the AC system. So I was actually talking about the AC system Airbox. I guess we might as well go ahead and clean this gunk out from under this engine bay. Alright, so that looks a lot better. Fortunately, pressure washer is still broken, so I can't actually pressure wash the engine. But one thing I just realized, though, is this throttle position sensor here is very similar to what we call a micro switch in for the fire suppression systems. So basically what it does is, in a fire suppression system, is when the system actuates, the lever hits it, moves it down, and then that sets off your alarms and triggers your emergency shutoffs for gas and electric. Well, I think that's going to about do it for this episode. I know this episode probably wasn't as exciting, but go ahead and leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Have you ever driven one of these? Do you remember having one of these? Do you have any experiences with these? I'd like to hear about them. Now I have started a GoFundMe. I know this video didn't cost me anything, but projects like the Ugly Cat Turbo build are rather expensive. So if you could show your support by giving any amount, that would be much appreciated. The link is down in the description.
For just 15 cents a day, you can help a starving YouTuber in need.
But I hope you like this content. If you do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next one. And remember,
Do everything at 18 foot-pounds.